What is going on, guys? Let me go ahead and get started on Instagram. All right, I think we're ready to rock and roll. Well, welcome everybody to Ignite Thursday. It's been a long week. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I hope you guys are igniting change in your life. The reason for Ignite Thursday is essentially to come on here and help you guys out. Typically, I was trying to do like a Q&A when I first started this, but when you first start out, there's not a lot of people, but nonetheless, so I have talking points to go through and stuff like that. But nonetheless, if you guys are looking to get active in 2021, I am doing virtual races. I am on one of my longest runs. So if you want to join me on any virtual races, that link is in the bio on Instagram. And it is in the description below in YouTube and Facebook. I don't know. Also, Facebook might be a little delayed. So if you try to write me a message on Facebook, just be aware. Let me just double check here. It might be a little delayed. I know someone was writing messages and I didn't catch it till after the live. But being said, I also have my course out now too. So Ignite Mindset is also out. It's essentially developed to help you ignite change into your life. You may feel like everything is good, but there may be something in your life that you want to really ignite change in. And that course was developed for that. Essentially, the stuff that I teach and everything is put into that course and is, I think, put in a way that I haven't really seen. So I have bite-sized lectures and I have activities that help you help change your life. So it's like a weekly course. You got different lectures and activities to do throughout the week and assignments. So if you're interested in that course, Ignite Mindset, again, if it's Instagram, it's in the bio, and also in all he goes, his research is definitely like one of a kind. It says we're having trouble streaming to YouTube. Interesting. I might have connection issues, just so you guys are aware where I'm living at in Virginia right now. Things aren't the greatest. The winds have been really strong lately. It's actually taken out some different things. So that may be why there's a connection issue with YouTube. Being said, so the book, The 50th Law, it's a fantastic book. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest you read it. But a lot of people may not understand 50's story, but I mean, he is an extremely smart guy from getting out of where he was to where he is today. And he just goes over some really great concepts in that book about how, you need to not be one-dimensional. And I talk about not being one-dimensional and because of the fact of Leonardo da Vinci and stuff, that you should have multiple perspectives. You should go through. Yeah, it looks like I'm having a lot of like delays on Facebook and YouTube. So my apologies for that. Again, my connection might be in and out just because it is extremely windy outside. It's been that way for the past 2 days. So just be aware of that. So if I cut in and out, it's not my due. It's Mother Nature at work, nonetheless. But being said, that book goes into being more than just one-dimensional. And I think, again, that's very important because if you have multiple perspectives, it's easier to solve particular problems that you're dealing with. And myself, just changing career fields, going and experiencing different things, I've found that having different perspectives really does help when solving issues, whatever kind of issue you have in life. Now, being said, I was thinking about that book a lot this week. I had a lot of time running this week, which I've almost reached. If you have been following the monthly challenge that I do have on there, it's the I Can challenge. You're supposed to be telling yourself I can this month. That being said, I've been listing that I was aiming for like 186 miles in 1 month, and I'm at 181 miles. Still got a couple days left. I didn't run today just because the wind was really bad, but nonetheless, that being said, I still will reach that goal. I'm hoping to hit well over that mile mark. Look forward to next month. I do have that one's coming out next week at some point. Being said, I do have an awesome interview coming up this week as well. So with that being said, this week I wanted to talk about soft skills, right? I know a lot of people want to have better soft skills, and that is one of those things that I talk about. Is one of the things that to develop it, you really have to push yourself. It's about pushing your comfort zone. And in doing that, you have to almost gamify soft skills and being aware of where you're at, how you're speaking, your body language, all these things really matter. And it's about picking one thing and developing that one thing when it comes to soft skills. And I talk about eye contact, that you should be making constant eye contact with people, and how it's important, right, to relay trust and to getting a better feel for a person, right? And when you don't make eye contact, a lot of times that means you don't have no confidence in yourself. And in saying that, it really matters to sit up straight and to have great posture, have your chin up and stuff. It's some things that I talked about last week, and these things matter, right? But when you have any kind of conversation with somebody, again, it's always important to listen to the other person, to be genuinely interested in the other person. And if you can find and look for value in what that person is telling you, you find that this helps with your soft skills. And instead of worrying about what you're always trying to say, because a lot of times you're just so much in your head, if you can actually try to determine, like what drives that person, what motivates that person to do the things that they want in life, where are they at in life, right? And trying to just depict that and find people that interest you and intrigue you and dive deep. And that's what I like doing about the Discover Possibility series, is because I can do that. I can get to know people, interesting people that are trying to ignite change in their lives. And in saying that, that you should just come at that approach in any conversation you're in. It doesn't matter if you're talking to someone at the checkout, or if you are just out and about, right? You meet someone in the park, just kind of learn about them, right? And kind of push your comfort zone. And you realize that there's a lull or something. Always try to go back and find breadcrumbs that were left in that conversation to dig deeper on specific things. And having the soft skills is definitely about gamifying and pushing yourself as far out of your comfort zone as possible, and all attempts that you can. But being said, there's some other different things that I haven't really touched on, and it is now a lot of these things can be interpreted as good or bad, however you want to put it. But ultimately, a good tactic when you are in conversation and you want someone to essentially, like you're in a debate almost, and you're having a conversation, but you want to kind of open somebody's mind about something. A good technique to use during soft skills is to mirror the other person. Now, when I talk about mirroring, it's kind of like adjusting the tone of your voice to that person you're talking to by standing almost exactly how that person is standing, right? If that person is hunched over and stuff, kind of just mirror their body language. And then you realize that by doing this, that person starts to mirror exactly what you start to do. So you can do small tests like touch your nose or scratch or wipe your head or something like that. And you notice that the other person starts doing that they're more susceptible to being able to listen to what you're saying, right? And so they're not that filter that is trying to block you and essentially what you're trying to debate, right? If you can use this mirroring tactic to do that and essentially persuade people your direction, right? Now, this is a good tactic that works quite well. That I've used. Obviously, I use it for good, right? I don't try to take advantage of people. Some people may try to use techniques like this to take advantage of people and persuade people in other directions. And I know, like in sales and stuff, they do use this tactic a lot, is mirroring and stuff. So if you notice that whenever you're out, say like buying a car or something, right? You notice that they'll do that. They'll adjust their tone in their voice. You notice that they'll mirror your body language. And this is why it's important to be self-aware and self-conscious, especially when you're talking about soft skills, because if you can pick up on these things and correct them on the spot, and when it comes to posture, when it comes to eye contact, right, be aware that, I'm not making enough eye contact. My posture is really bad. I'm looking at the floor all the time. I'm hunched forward, all these other different things, right? So the more aware you can be of yourself, you realize that you can make these corrections and become better at soft skills, because ultimately is one of those things that communication can get you extremely far, can build relationships, solid relationships. You realize that with communication skills, if you lack in other skills, right, and perhaps your job or whatever, you realize that if you have strong communication skills, people will keep you on board, because it's harder to find good, strong communication skills, right, soft skills. And in talking about that, there's a lot of different techniques when it comes to body language and stuff, and keeping open, so you're honest, right? Keeping your chest and arms open, palms up, because if your palms down, right, people aren't, they kind of feel like you're being a little held back, right? And in knowing that, ultimately, I want to talk about frame a little bit, right? Frame is something that I think is important, and I did talk about this in my last video, actually, on the Reddit series, because a particular person, when dealing with another person, right, he felt like I couldn't tell if it was a he or she. It didn't really explain much. It was just a couple of words in the Reddit, in the subreddit, but it's about having frame, right? Like you want to be the person that's in control of the frame, and to be in control of a frame, you have to realize that you have to have a lot of self-confidence in yourself, and that is building yourself up to that. And when building yourself up to that, it is not the easiest thing, right? Like it takes time to build up. You have to do a bunch of continued effort and compounding that gets you to a point to where you are comfortable with yourself. And so that you have your comfort level will allow you to maintain that frame, and realize that you are essentially in control, right? You're the lead to the dance, ultimately, in controlling that frame. And if you can do that, you can realize that soft skills become so much easier, because you're comfortable with yourself, you're comfortable with the frame, and essentially you can adjust where that conversation goes, right? Because of the frame that you project, and the other person can see that frame. But being said, there's a lot of different things that come into soft skills. A lot of stuff, again, is basic. You want to gamify a lot of these different things, and push yourself, right? Can you push yourself today to do a little bit more and get a higher score than you did yesterday, right? If you do it this way and make sure you're doing it every single day, it all comes down to there's always a basic infrastructure to do anything across any of the different things that you want to do in life. And it's just about compounding effort and pushing comfort zones and building those skills up. And there's a lot of good books out about body language. There's a couple of different FBI agents that talk about body language and stuff. And I highly recommend that you read books like that to essentially, you want to know how to persuade people on a rough night on here. So I won't make this live too long. Again, I just wanted to come on and talk about some soft skills stuff, but ultimately, if you guys have any questions and answers, ultimately this is why I wanted to do Ignite Thursdays, is to come on here, answer questions that you guys have about particular issues that you have in your life, and try to help you out with those, right? I've again developed a system that helps you ignite change. Again, one of the biggest pillars is being soft skills and being able to talk to people and challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone and doing these things, because it's important. And like I said, it's helped me in promotions. I've always essentially maxed out my promotions, not try to say, hey, look at me kind of thing. I'm not that kind of person, but it's just saying that having that skill will help you get to places that you want to go, right? And realizing that you build this out, you have to unplug, you have to do these things that will ultimately help build you to the person you want to become. And, I look back in my life and where I was, or people calling me shy and all these other different things. And I'm doing lives and stuff like that now, which is something I would have never done, back in high school and stuff like that. I wasn't that kind of person. I built myself up over the years to be that person. And even just a couple of recent years, I've even built myself up even more just showing that it takes continuous effort, right? You're not going to be that person, that jock back in high school today. You're not going to be able to be that great debater maybe you were back in high school today, right? And it's realizing that if you're not compounding these efforts on a daily basis, you lose stuff, right? And realizing that the brain works this way. It works on what is most frequent in your brain, right? And this is why rewiring your brain is important. When you're trying to rewire it, is that you have to be frequent about it, or else it becomes extremely hard and extremely painful, because your brain doesn't want to change. It doesn't want to rewire if it doesn't have to. And so it will fight against you. Your body is constantly fighting those things that you want, that are changed, that are not routine. And so, but you realize that you can rewire it in a way to where everything does become routine, does become a lot simpler by doing these different things, building out these different pillars with the mindset and everything, and allowing yourself to take control of your life and make the changes that you want possible in your life. And again, soft skills being a big part of that. But being said, so this week has been kind of crazy. Like I said, I've been catching up on a lot of different reading and stuff like that. Actually just finished that book about the 50th law. And I'm kind of drifting away from soft skills. That's essentially what I had for soft skills. Wanted to see if there's any other questions or anything like that on here. There's not really been anybody on here. I mean, people might be having bad weather like I am here in Virginia. So I'm assuming I'm going to chalk it up to that's what it is. But nonetheless, that's essentially what I got for today. And for the coming weeks, I've talked about writing a book. I'm going to get back on that here in the coming days as well. I've actually been debating on if I should write the book in essentially the way the course is structured, or write it more in a story kind of explanation on why I kind of chose the structure of the course. I think would be more entertaining and a lot better if I wrote the book in a storytelling kind of fashion. I think would ultimately be better. So the book is something I'm going to start working on here shortly. That is one of the goals I wanted to achieve this year. I have the course done, so now it's moving on to the again, the book, and coming out with something that will help you guys and guide you guys, and doing it more in a storybook fashion. I know essentially what I was going to do was make it like a bullet kind of form, which I didn't think, which could be beneficial, but I think the course kind of handles that with the bite-sized lectures and stuff. But being said, I think ultimately, look for the couple of videos. I got a couple of videos coming out. I got an interview this weekend, which is I'm excited about. Tony Taylor Inspires. So I got a motivational speaker coming out on Tuesday. That will be around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I look forward to actually doing that interview. Will be this weekend as well. Let's see what else I got. I think that's pretty much it. If there's anybody that got any questions, I got one viewer either on YouTube or Facebook. It's hard to tell. It doesn't tell me. So if you do have a question, if it is on Facebook, I'm not sure I'm actually able to see the comments you have. I know someone was dropping comments a couple like nights ago, and I wasn't able to see anything. So if there are no questions, I'm going to pretty much call it here. Again, the weather has been bad, so I know I've been dropping in and out of YouTube and Facebook, and I'm assuming some people may have connection issues as well. So if that's the case, guys, I appreciate your time. Again, this video will be uploaded. If you have any questions, answers, you want one-on-one coaching, you want the course, any of that stuff, just remember you can DM me for the one-on-one coaching, or you can also get on the Ignite Mindset course. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.